I'm going to give you some background into the survival prepper movement. It actually started pretty much, well, before the people moved out west and stuff, when we had the Cuban Missile Crisis in the United States. My father, and there was eight of us kids, mom and dad made 10, and a dog. But yeah, dad was into ham radios and stuff back then, because during the war he was in B-17s and he was a radio operator and a gunner. But he had a ham radio set, and we was going to put that down in the basement to keep abreast of what was going on in the world if we did have a missile attack. So that kind of started things. So we had some water down there, a few canned goods, things like that. One single shot 22 rifle, one single shot 16 gauge shotgun, and probably 50 rounds for the 22 and maybe 15 rounds for the shotgun. So that was kind of my break into survival. Then in December of 1976, a fellow wrote an article in Guns and Ammo, December of 1976. I'm going to quote some stuff from his book here. Survival Guns by MEL TAPPAN. He says, what would you do, for example, a week from next Wednesday, there was no gasoline at the pumps, no food in the supermarket, no electric power or city water, the banks were all closed, and a mob had formed into the center of town, looting and burning out of frustration and fear. Could you and your family survive even for a few weeks where you are, without additional food or water, and perhaps with little or no police protection, could you and your family survive for a few weeks even where you are, without additional food or water, and perhaps with little or no police or fire protection? He goes on to say, we kind of did this ourselves. It seems curious that a human experience so fundamental as merely staying alive without the support of others requires a term as dramatic as survival to describe it. But if you consider the fact that almost 90% of the American people live in cities, their food and clothing come from the labors of others. Various forms of energy are processed and delivered to their homes by others. The shelter they live in was probably built by others. It is protected from fire and by others from intrusion more or less successfully by others. Because of this common interdependence, which is part of the complex civilization so completely pervades our urban life, we tend to lose how vulnerable we really are, how unable we are through our own direct efforts to provide the core necessities which we require to support our lives. It was this last little paragraph thing about that we tend to lose sight of how vulnerable we really are, how unable we are through our own direct efforts to provide the core necessities which we require to support our lives. Without really being aware of it, most of us have subcontracted almost all of our life support activities to others, to corporations, to government bodies, and machines. Not only does this circumstance contribute to the sense of frustration, which is symbolic of modern man, it's life-threatening should there be an interruption of these vital services. We merely have to project ourselves into a natural disaster, a shipwreck, or a riot to realize just how dependent we have become on the uninterrupted functioning of the social order just to stay alive. That's a quote from MEL TAPPAN's book, Survival Guns. That's where the base of a lot of the survival movement came from, just this one guy. It started before him, but he opened people's eyes to what was going on. I just thought you guys might be interested enough to know where a lot of people got their start, the survival prepper movement. But it does make you think when you find out that you are this vulnerable because you don't have enough skills, that you have to depend on somebody else's skills. It makes you think. If you can't can't do things by your own direct effort, you're kind of screwed. You can no longer provide the core necessities which we need to support our own lives every day. Every day. That's why you've got to prepare. Prepare yourself mentally, physically. Stock up on food, stock up on water, stock up on your firearms, stock up on enough books to help you understand how to take care of yourself. Ain't that something? We go to school, we learn the ABCs and math, and we don't know how to take care of ourselves. Sad. Okay, people, I just thought I'd put that out there for you so you'd have some kind of understanding and know where I'm coming from on a lot of this stuff. Now you know. Thanks for watching.